MacVoices is supported by MintMobile. MintMobile delivers the premium network coverage you're used to, but at a fraction of the cost because everything is done online. Ditch your old wireless bill now and get your kit shipped to your door for free at mintmobile.com/MacVoices. MacVoices is at ShowStoppers and CES in Las Vegas. I'm Chuck Joyner. Folks, we're at the Confirmed booth talking to David about Confirmed, something that will hopefully let you take better control of your schedule.
Not hopefully.
Will
help you take better control of your schedule.
Yes, sir.
Your days, manage yourself, etc. All those things.
I stand corrected. Thank you, sir.
Oh, no, you're not. But let me tell you something, Chuck. It's funny because we've been doing this for years in terms of working with people and their schedules, and we know that scheduling is broken. If you think about it, over the last 20 plus years, scheduling has moved very, very little. Most people are still doing scheduling the same way that they were doing it with their Blackberries or even their Newtons. Do you remember a Newton?
Oh, sure, I had one.
Did you? Okay, well, you're one of the few.
Yeah.
Right?
Sure.
But the fact is that scheduling hasn't gone much farther. So what we've done with Confirmed is we've decided to look into what the real problems are. And one of the big problems is it hasn't gone very far. We're still doing things the old way. Number two is we're trying to do one size fits all instead of really doing it role-based because different people have different needs. So it's a crazy thing that we're doing, but it makes it hard. So we at Confirmed have said, let's make it easier by creating a foundation that lifts up everybody a couple notches, and then we can build role-based models for different types of meetings and different types of people.
Okay, that makes sense. So you're almost setting profiles for things.
Well, in some sense, there is a profile. Basically, what it comes down to is when we do the traditional way that we do a calendar is we put it on our calendar, and then we add an email address, and we say, oh, I'm going to add a meeting. Here's the example. Chuck, you're trying to get a meeting with David. So you put it on your calendar, you say meeting with David, and then you add my email address and you send it to me, right? Isn't that the way you normally do it?
Exactly.
It doesn't matter whether you use Google or whether you're using Outlook, it works that way, right? Now, you've got a meeting with David on your calendar, and that's spectacular. Guess what? So do I. I'm not meeting with Chuck, I'm meeting with David according to what my calendar says. And if I want to change it so it says meeting with David, it has to ask you for permission to make that change or make any other kind of change. Add notes, add driving time, anything like that. And that's just one of the smaller problems related to scheduling, but it's one that hits everybody.
Okay, so how do you solve it?
So we start by giving you the opportunity to send a choice when you send it. So when I'm sending you an offer for a meeting, I'm saying, Chuck, do you want to meet Tuesday or Thursday? Or Chuck, do you want to meet Thursday at 2 or Thursday at 4? Or maybe, Chuck, do you want to meet at between 12 and 3 on Tuesday, and at what time? So that you have a single click that sends me the response, and it automatically saves those times on my calendar so that I know, and when you confirm it, it automatically disappears. It goes a step or two farther than that as well, because I can also give you a choice of places. So for instance, it might be, do you want to meet at your office or at my office? It might be, do you want to meet at a coffee shop or a restaurant? Now it's interesting when you get the choices because not everybody likes the same coffee. So I can give you the choice of Dunkin' Donuts and Starbucks, right, and you will choose the one that you want, and I'll know what you want next time. So there's all sorts of little things. Now, and for most of us, those things might be little. If you're in a business development or sales profession, those are big situations because one of the biggest problems with sales is that the person on the other end doesn't know yet that he needs to have that conversation with you. And so it's a challenge to get it because they've got other priorities or they may be inconvenient for them to meet with you or what have you, right? So if you think about it, anything I can do to make it easier for you to say yes, and that's not giving you my free busy calendar and saying, here, choose a time, because all that does is that means that you get the burden of choosing a time.
Right.
Okay. It means giving you a couple choices that make sense for both me and you. And so if I can say, hey, do you like Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts better? I've got a higher probability of you saying yes. Or if I give you a choice of 2 times, I've doubled the chances that you've got a free meeting spot. Or 3 times, I've increased it by another 50%.
Okay, makes perfect sense. So are we doing this on the desktop? Are we doing this on my phone? How are we doing this?
So the current iteration is a web-based service, web-based model. You go to our website. Now we are introducing here at ShowStoppers a more integrated model that will allow you to start to see these types of events, these pending events, for instance, in Outlook, in any version of Outlook, and very quickly followed by Google and Salesforce.com and others, Apple Calendar, so that you can actually see them there. Later, we're going to be integrating much more deeply with these as well. We already do log into Salesforce.com, so if you're using Salesforce.com, every time something comes out of our system, it automatically gets logged as an activity. And there's a lot of graphical types of things which I'd love to show your audience that people will be able to look, wow, that is so much easier to see and use than what I'm using right now.
Right. What kind of pricing do we have for this, and how is that part of the model working?
Simple pricing model. So we've got two basic single seat editions, that is for one person at a time. One's called the Professional, which is $6 a month, and the other one's called the Premium, which is $30 a month. We've got a free version, but it's got limited capability. It gives you a trial, and then it goes into limited mode. And that's really meant for people who just like the idea and maybe don't do a lot of scheduling.
Right.
But the other two versions will have different types of capabilities. One of them is if you will, for sales professionals on steroids would be the higher version of it. Anybody who does a lot of those types of meetings. And then we also have a team edition, which you buy in bulk. And that one has also got some capabilities for the team leaders that make it easier to have coachable moments with your staff and do collaboration and things like that. So again, we've thought through the process of what's wrong with scheduling right now from a leadership standpoint. We've got people in our organization who have taught leadership training and who have taught sales training and who have taught presentations and things like that, who have worked very deeply with CRM systems. Mm-hmm. And so we brought all the talent together in order to be able to help make this a better product.
Where can we send people to learn more? What's the website?
So the place to go is confirmed.com. That's confirmed followed by app.com. Now, I'm going to give you a little secret, because if they see this early enough, there's a little beta. It's a little word right next to our logo on the top of the first page. If they see this in the next couple of weeks after you and I are talking, then they're going to be able to click on that word beta, and they're going to be able to get an 80% discount off the premium edition. So instead of it costing what it did, it will cost them $70 for the entire year, and it will be a lifetime discount.
Wow, thank you. That's great.
Okay,
that's great.
I hope that'll help your listeners.
I think it will.
Great.
David, thanks so much for the time.
Chuck, thank you for your time.
Interesting product.
Glad you came by.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Folks, more from CES and ShowStoppers in Las Vegas. Thanks for watching. Visit MacVoices.com for show notes and to connect with Chuck on social media. Get involved in our Facebook group or like our Facebook page, and get more out of your Apple tech with MacVoices Magazine, free on Flipboard and on the web. And if you find value in it all, consider supporting us through either our Patreon campaign at patreon.com/MacVoices or by making a one-time donation via the PayPal link on our front page and in the show notes of each episode. You will join these fine people who help bring you Mac Voices. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media at backbeatmedia.com. Bandwidth provided by CashFly at cashfly.com.